Yo, Brad.
What's up, Bert?
Dude, I'm just so stressed out lately. Like, it's just crazy because I just watched Die Hard for the very first time, and I can't just freaking decide whether it's a Christmas movie or not.
Well, in order to get to that, to answer that question, you're going to have to de-stress a little bit. And I got the perfect trick for this.
Oh, I'm
Go,
all ears.
go ahead and take your shoes and your socks off.
Okay. Okay.
And now go ahead and just kind of walk around on the carpet with your feet. Now, you don't have to stand up necessarily, but just kind of play around with the carpet with your feet. Make fists with your feet, with your toes.
Okay. Oh,
It's kind of nice.
yeah, that feels really good, dude.
That'll kind of de-stress, dude.
Oh, yeah. So, what are your thoughts about it, by the way, while I'm asking it? Do you think it's a Christmas movie?
Yippee-Ki-Yay, mother. What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Reel Hunting, where we hunt for the good reels so you don't have to. It's your boy Brad. Got the Brett man over there. Today we are kicking off our franchise review series of Die Hard with the first one, the original, the classic, the 1988 staple, which is Die Hard. This film is about a New York police detective who travels over to Los Angeles to try to woo his wife back. They're having some marital problems, and he says, okay, I'm going to go to this party. I'm going to woo her, and then we're going to get back together. It's going to be great. Only thing is, the party's at this big-ass skyscraper, and then he gets in there, and the place is getting taken over by terrorists and common thieves, as they say. Shit hits the fan, essentially. That's what happens. Let's get into it. Brett, first off, how are you doing today? And tell us a little bit about the cast.
Dude, I'm doing freaking fantastic. It's been a great day, and this is my first true experience with Die Hard, and I'm ready just to kick some ass with our boy John McClane.
Woo!
Woo! So, you want me to go ahead and just tell everybody who the cast and the director is?
Hit it.
All right, let's do it, man. Well, obviously, the cast, we got to start with our boy Bruce Willis, along with Bonnie Bedelia, Reginald Field Johnston, Paul Gleason, and of course, our boy Alec Rickman, which is also directed by John McTiernan.
Fantastic stuff, my friend. Fantastic stuff. I dig it. This was your first time watching the movie? First full time?
Yeah, first full time. Like, I've seen bits and pieces of it, but not knowing like what the hell was going on. So this is my first full time watch. So you're going to get fresh thoughts on this.
Interesting take for you guys. You're going to get it from a first time viewer here in 2020. Now, guys, if you guys like Die Hard in the franchise, be sure to subscribe because we got plenty more coming to this. We got the rest of the franchise coming very soon this month. We're celebrating Christmas after all. This is, in fact, the best Christmas movie of all time.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with that 110%.
Now let's get into what we liked about this, Brett. What do you think about it?
God, dude, where to even begin to like about this movie? Let's go with start with our main boy, John McClane. What can you not like about this guy? He just has the wittiest of words, like just the perfect words to use against Hans Gruber. He freaking kicks ass barefooted, which I've never seen that in an action movie before. So I thought that was super interesting and just so badass and so manly. And just Bruce Willis just does an amazing job with this character. And I'm so looking forward to seeing the development of John throughout this entire franchise.
Right, you are, Ted. I agree, man. I think Bruce was fantastic. He was amazing. This was obviously, I think this is the best performance in the franchise without, obviously that's an obvious statement. He's great. I love the way he talks to himself. He kind of, you think of a plot hole and then Bruce, he's talking to himself. He kind of kills the plot hole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's a good way of kind of moving the story along and kind of, he's thinking what you're thinking in your head. He's just saying it out loud. Like when he calls for assistance, and she's like, "Oh, this is an emergency line only." No shit, ladies, it sound like I'm ordering a pizza.
Attention, whoever you are. This channel is reserved for emergency calls only.
No fucking shit, lady. Do I sound like I'm ordering a pizza?
Yeah,
like, that's what we're all thinking. Like, this is, are you serious right now? But yeah, I mean, he's fantastic. He's hilarious. He's super entertaining throughout. He's sitting there, he's talking. He's like, "Oh yeah, oh, here comes the fire trucks. Turn around, you dumbasses. Turn around. Come on.
Dude,
Yeah.
the quote I love he used too is in charge of jack shit.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean,
They
there's
reminded
some
me of
other good
freaking,
ones. Of course, there's the other one of what my and like when he fights his first bad guy, and the bad guy says like, "Well, wait a minute, you're a cop, you got rules." I mean, it's like, yeah, my captain keeps on telling me that.
You won't hurt me.
Yeah? Why not?
Because you're a policeman. There are rules for policemen.
Yeah. That's what my captain keeps telling me.
Oh, dude, that's when I immediately fell in love with John, and just a great performance by Bruce Willis. I would really say that this has been my favorite Bruce Willis film.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it's definitely. I think it's his best role. I think, for sure. I think he's fantastic. And I think he had some great acting moments in this. When he's taking the glass out, he's sitting on the bathroom sink or whatever it was. He's taking the glass out of his feet, and he goes on this nice long thing. He's talking to Mr.
To our boy Al.
Yeah, to Pal. He's talking to Pal. He said, "Yeah, tell my wife I'm sorry." All that. It's a good, not very nice piece of dialogue there, and it's a great performance from Bruce at that point. Yeah, I mean, I think that was excellent stuff, man. And it shows a little emotion. It gives you a little bit of an emotional connection to this guy.
Yeah, especially with Al too, and like his reveal of why he's a desk cop is that he shot a 13-year-old on accident. Like you immediately feel bad for him. So I thought and that's what one of the big things I love about this movie is the exchange between John and Al. I thought they were very playful, and they were just having a good time with it. Well, not having a good time. The actors were having a good time with each other, but the characters they needed one another because for Al, he's actually trying to help the hostages, while John's actually helping Al just give him details on what the scenario is, how bad these terrorists are. So I just love the entire film of just their connection to each other.
Yeah, so they both him and Al had great chemistry. Okay, and that's another great part about this movie is some of the side characters, Al and Argyle and all these guys. They get quality time.
My boy Argyle.
They get quality on-screen time, so you get a chance to kind of connect with these characters as well. Especially with Pal. They have great chemistry between him and Bruce. They're talking throughout the whole movie. I mean, once things kind of pick up, and I love that. You get to see a lot of him on screen. You get to kind of connect with him emotionally. It's awesome. He becomes a great character in this movie because of how they let him take over kind of some of the screen time there.
Right. I just want to quickly point out real quick. I freaking hate reporters.
Oh yeah, that guy was a douchebag, huh?
Dude, that guy was such a dick, and it kind of reminds me of real life. Just the media sucks. They don't give a damn about the scenario. They're just trying to get the best story and just all for themselves. And just when that reporter goes to freaking John's family and his 2 kids and putting them on camera like that, oh, I just wanted to punch the hell out of them. Which we're lucky enough, Holly got to do that for us.
Absolutely, she did, and it was interesting. I was reading some stuff, doing kind of a little bit of digging on this. Reginald Vell Johnson, who plays Sergeant Powell, and Bruce, they didn't actually meet each other until they were done with filming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the scene they have at the end of the movie is actually the first time they kind of met each other in real life.
Dude, that's awesome, and you can just tell that they didn't need to see each other to connect the way they did. They just let the scene play out for itself. Just that last ending scene where they were embracing with each other, perfect stuff.
I agree, man. But we'll move on to the other freaking part of this, and that's Hans Gruber.
Oh, my boy,
dude.
I love Hans Gruber.
And honestly, in this movie, I think he's just as important as Bruce Willis. They're equal. Obviously, they're on different sides of the coin, but they're equally as important. Phenomenal performance. This is Alan Rickman's debut film in the United States, first feature-length film, and he knocked it out of the freaking park, ladies and gentlemen. He knocked it.
Dude, absolutely, he did.
He plays this freaking brutal freaking villain he's very smart. He's very he's kind of singing Christmas tunes or whatever, Christmas tunes. He's
he's not your typical bad guy.
No, he's humming freaking classical music there in the in the elevator when he's taking your boy up there.
Joseph Takagi.
Yeah, they're going up the elevator. He's like freaking humming freaking tunes, man. Ludwig, I think, was actually the composer of the song. I forgot which symphony it is, but it's a classical music, and he's freaking humming the music up the elevator. He's goofy, man, but at the same time, he's smart. He's ruthless. That first kill with
Joseph.
Takagi.
Yeah, Takagi.
Yeah, well, that's his name, and he the first kill he has where he's talking to him, and he's like, "Hey, what's your vault code?" He said, "Oh, the vault code's not going to do you any good. I'm going to count to 3. There's not going to be a 4." And he freaking blasts him. He blows him away. Like
yeah,
that was like
that actually did blow me away. Like, because normally bad guys don't do that, and he actually like lived up to his word that he did shoot him. So I thought that was great stuff immediately. Like, okay, this is a different type of bad guy. He means business. Like he just draws them in, like just just as you say, like sending some tunes, like just casually drawing them in, and then just when the time's ready to strike, bam, Hans Gruber just does his dailiest work.
Yeah, and I think it's awesome. He's ruthless, but he's classy kind of, and he's smart. I love his interaction with Ellis when he comes in. He says, "Oh yeah, let me talk to you. It's not about what it's what I can offer you, whatever." He brings Ellis back, the douchebag guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, dude, I know what's going on here. I know what's going on. You're all about negotiating." He said, "Oh, you just now," or he said, "You're figuring this out. You're a real smart guy," or whatever. He's just kind of playing with him,
I was like thinking, like, no shit, Sherlock.
Yeah, I love it. He's just kind of egging it on, kind of entertaining him, enabling him, all of it. It was great. And then he blows him away after.
Yeah, again, just drawing him in, just making him feel safe, and then all of a sudden, bam.
Yep. Phenomenal. And then his performance when him and Bruce meet for the first time, which was another awesome part about the movie.
Oh yeah, dude! I'm glad you brought that up. I'll let you finish first.
Yeah, I was just saying it didn't happen until after an hour goes by, which is awesome. That's my favorite part of the movie is when Bruce is running around undetected in the building, and they're all like, "Okay, what's going on? There's another dude in here," and then he doesn't reveal himself to Hans until 40 minutes into the movie. They don't see each other until an hour into the movie. And again, this is the first time they did not. I think they met, but they hadn't rehearsed this scene together when they met. They just went straight into it, and that's kind of why it plays the way it does, because it's their first time, kind of no rehearsals. They just jump right into it because they wanted it to be kind of an awkward meeting, and it does. It pays off, and then Hans does his phenomenal little American accent there, which was actually pretty solid.
Right. Yeah, and what I love most about this scene too, it's just kind of like anything with like movies in general. I'm a huge fan where us as the audience knows something that the main character does not, and just like it builds the anticipation and just like gets us like just just like this, like just getting nervous for the main character because we know that this guy is a bad guy and that at any moment he can strike. But our boy John, he knew better. Yeah,
he's more than a hat rack, my friend.
Oh, dude, it like probably, as you said, this is probably my favorite scene out of the whole movie. Just a great job by both actors and the characters. Just great stuff.
It was great too because they actually made you think that Bruce was going to fall for it. They made you think that Bruce was going to give this guy a real gun because he's like, "Okay, what's your name?" "My name's William," or "My name's Bill Clay." And he's looking at the thing, and there's a dude up there named Bill Clay. So you're like, "Oh, he's actually going to fall." He actually thinks this is Bill Clay. And he gives him the gun. You're like, "Oh, this is bad news. Bad news bears for the McClane man." He gives him the gun, and then he, obviously pulls the trigger and it's empty. And that, I thought that was done very well. You're right. That's a phenomenal scene between the two there when they first meet for the first time. Two phenomenal performances meeting each other in a great way. I love the way it's shot with the kind of weird angles. And it was cool, man. I really liked it.
Yeah, and I also like too, just when his henchmen came up and they were just having that gun battle, and Hans was screaming at his guy, "Shoot the glass!" Like again, just great stuff from a villain, like using strategy. He knows John's barefooted, so what can cause him pain and just have him slow down? Just spreading the whole ground with glass. So like John had to make a decision. Okay, well I can just sit here and get God, or I'm just going to be a man and just walk across this glass and just get the hell out of there.
Yeah, dude, it was very effective, very effective, and I liked it. Just those two performances, great. Outside of the two main people here, I love the setting of it being in the skyscraper, and the production design was fantastic. They had like kind of bare drywall and stuff, like when the elevator shafts, which I think is realistic. Like I think
Yeah.
nobody's going to paint, or nobody's going to be right. So I thought that was kind of cool. And I know that's small, but I liked it. It was a good, just seeing the different levels of the skyscraper and the behind the scenes stuff, the elevator shafts and all that stuff. It was done very well.
Oh yeah, and I love the look of the whole skyscraper too. Like it just had like a realistic feel to it. And trying. Oh yeah, and did you see who was in this movie too?
Argyle and the
Oh
teddy
shoot!
bear.
Hey, of course, our boy Argyle, but I'm talking about a particular chief of police.
Oh, freaking Bender or
Yeah,
breakfast,
the principal from Breakfast Club.
yeah.
I'm like, oh great, this dick is in this movie. How's he going to play this role? And of course, he was a major dick. Like he didn't listen to Al Pal at all until, even though it was kind of funny when the FBI came by, or when they finally showed up at Chief Robinson just was giving them all the information that Al gave him, and I tried to take the credit for it.
Oh
And
yeah.
I just thought that was great. But no, seriously, Fo, Chief Robinson, I liked his character. He fulfilled his role like a typical chief of officer would, and I thought he did good.
Yeah, I think so too. And yeah, I liked it. And then you got the FBI goons coming in. They got blown away, but that was nonetheless Detectives Special Agent Johnson and Johnson there, a family company. But anyway, yeah, I like the setting. The setting was fantastic. The intro was cool. Argyle was a great side character too. He's just out there jamming it out in the limo, dude.
Of course I'm still coming by later. Sweetheart, have I ever lied to you? My boss thinks I'm on my way to Vegas.
Turn up the heat and it's getting ready to pop. Turn up the heat and it's
He's got his
very
teddy
good
bear.
humor character.
Yeah, he was great. Every time I cut to him, and then he freaking tore it up at the end, dude. He freaking rammed the ambulance there, and I thought,
punched Theo in the face.
yeah, and Theo, I like Theo a lot too.
Yeah.
He was a cool henchman, and then really all the bad guys. You had the Chris Jericho lookalike from the '90s there, with the hair. He was pretty cool, and yeah, they had overall the characters were fantastic. Even the low tier bad guys, you're like, okay, these guys are cool. And
yeah, and they were smart too. Like they're just not your typical goons. Like they actually like try to be on the same level as John, like mind wise.
Yeah.
I thought they were really good. Like John had to earn each and every single kill in this movie.
He did, dude. He did. Well, it's cool, man. You got any more positives or anything? I mean, we could talk positives all day on this movie, but we don't want to freaking bore you guys. Obviously, it's a freaking classic. Do you have anything in particular that you wanted to throw out there?
And that was pretty much it for my main positive. I really honestly don't have a negative in this. I just really have like a mix.
Yeah, I don't really either. Now, I will say these special effects were phenomenal. The explosions and all that.
Yes.
For the 1988, there were real explosions. I think at least most of them. I think all of them were. This movie did receive some nominations for special effects, I believe,
Nice.
In the
Well
Oscars.
deserved.
And yeah, I mean, the special effects were great. All the gunshots were great. And the humor, by and large, all of it landed perfectly. It was fantastic. Okay, one other positive I got to throw in there real quick is the fact that this came out in 1988, yet it does not feel like an 80s movie at all. It's not cheesy. It's not, it's not like 80s cheese. This is the freaking the pinnacle of the 80s at this point, where movie wise. And you don't get all this crazy. They didn't put Arnold Schwarzenegger in here. They didn't put Sylvester Stallone in here. They put a regular dude, Bruce Willis, no muscle. I mean, he's got muscles, but he's not freaking, Arnold.
Yeah, just like your typical guy.
Typical dude. It's not a cheesy movie. For me, I think that's a phenomenal creative decision to put Bruce in here as opposed to some 80s action star. That would have taken the movie down a lot. What's your mix thing you got there?
I have like three mixes. It's kind of like just your typical nitpicks. The first one being, it's like you can tell just a lot of times that it's an obvious like green screen right behind them. It distracted me a little bit, but again, I was so invested in the characters, like I ignored it completely. And plus, it was like what you say, 1988.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so like it was fine for what that was, and there were a couple of times too where Hans Gruber was hard to understand because he kind of talked like this a little bit, so you had to really pay attention.
Gentlemen.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm actually and I was just thinking about this that him like talking like this, like that is actually really genius. Just because like when he's talking that slow, it forces you as a viewer to shut up and like really listen to the conversation.
Yeah, man. I agree, man. I could see both those things.
Yeah,
God, one other.
and sorry, the last mix aspect I had was Holly. I felt like she could like used her a little bit more.
But yeah, so you said you don't have no negatives. You have no negatives. I mean,
No, honestly, there's not like one big thing that I can like say, hey, this is a negative, and so I'm going to lower it. No, I thought it was just a very great, perfect action movie.
I
Like
agree,
it's
man.
not perfect, but like it's just so high up there that it's hard to find like one big negative.
Yeah, I mean, there's several little small nitpicks you could throw out there with characters. We're not going to do that, ladies and gentlemen, just with decisions and stuff. But I mean, the only thing really, if I had to change anything about it, which I wouldn't, but it is a little for an action movie. It's a little long, 2 hours and 12 minutes for a pretty simple story. But I was entertained the whole time, so I'm not going to complain about it. I love it, fantastic. I don't really have any negatives for this one, guys. It's great.
All right, man. So you want to go ahead and like do some ratings?
Let's drop it, dude.
All right. I'm going to give this movie a 5 out of 5. I'm actually putting it on my perfection list on my letterbox.
I'm going to give it a 3 plus 2. I'm going to give it a 5 as well. And yeah, that makes it easy. That's our good real score of 5 out of 5.
So we highly recommend this movie if you cannot tell already. This is just a great movie. And I just had a blast. Like, again, I agree with Brad. It was a little too long, but I really didn't notice it a lot too much. So I just had a great time with our boy, John McClane.
Yep. And you can safely say that we have located a good reel.
And let's go ahead and answer the big question, because this is like one of the most debated questions out of this movie. Is or is it not a Christmas movie?
I'm going to have to say, honestly, truthfully, if you want my truthful opinion, it is not a Christmas movie. But I treat it as such. I watch it near Christmas more so than ever.
Oh, dude, it's easily a Christmas movie for me. You got the Christmas vibes. You got the Christmas songs. You even got freaking John McClane doing like a Christmas duct tape right behind his back. Just it's great stuff. Like it's easily a Christmas movie for me if you're just asking me.
I mean, I love it. I personally watch it during Christmas. Objectively speaking, though, I could say I wouldn't classify it as one, honestly, truthfully. Mm-hmm. But I would tell you that if you ask me on the streets, I would say, yeah, it's a Christmas.
So you're kind of like saying like it's mainly an action movie just with some Christmas elements to it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I understand that.
Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho.
Yep, but hey, overall, anything else you want to say?
No, I feel like we tackled as much as we can on our boy John McClane and Die Hard, and I'm looking forward to the rest of the franchise.
That's right. Why don't you tell them where they can tell us what they think?
So, what did you all think about Die Hard and our boy John McClane? Do you feel as highly as we do about giving it a 5 out of 5? Or do you all actually find a negative about this movie? Let us know in that comment section down below, and let's just get that discussion rolling.
Right you are, Ted. And you can always help us locate the good reels by finding us on Facebook, Letterboxd, Instagram, Spotify, and Apple freaking Podcasts for the longer episodes. Of course, be ready because we got 4 more Die Hard movies to review coming down the road and a ranking.
And how can you just keep tabs of what we're doing with this franchise franchise review series? Be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel. We are on the quest to 100 subs so we can see our boy Matt Facci rap. And of course, ring that bell, ding, 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 and so you can be notified when the next video is up and rolling.
Right, you are, Ted.
Oh yeah, buddy. So I guess there's just one word before we get out of here, and you know what that word is? Yippee-Ki-Yay!
Yippee-Ki-Yay!
So we'll see you guys later for the next review.
Welcome to the party, pal.
And this is John McClane's movie. I don't know why I keep on wanting to call him John McCain. It's John McClane.
Yeah, he's not a senator from Arizona, but
I guess let's just go with the main guys himself, Mr. John McClane. Yeah.
Especially with I don't know why I keep wanting to call him Roy.